Hi everybody, real quick before I begin. I've played through this game several times. I mean, I've beaten this game several times. But the first time I ever played this game is on Tinkidink's channel. There are 4 of us. We played this game pretty much blind. I think one of us had actually played it before. None of us knew what we were doing. So if you want to watch me learn how to play this game and experience this game for the first time, you gotta go over to Tinkidink's channel. You can also find a playlist of it on my channel. But they're his videos. It was me, a Tinkidink, and the Robots Got in the Line Popsicle. And the 4 of us, it's a 4-player game, and the 4 of us played through that game. So while I'm playing through it this time, I know what I'm doing, and I'm going to be able to describe the mechanics. And it will be a complete spoiler for that series. So if you are at all interested in watching me learn how to play this game, and experience this game for the first time, you gotta stop watching this video and go watch those videos. And we had a lot of fun. That's a great bunch of guys. And we had a lot of fun and a lot of failure. But okay, here we go. Nightmare on Elm Street. This is a NES game, and it has nasty habit of making no sense to players who don't know what they're doing. It took us a while to figure it out. So, this is really basic gameplay. Look, it's just an action jumping game, and you're in the first level. No, you're not in the first level. This is the overworld. I am looking for the first level right now. I tried to go in that first house you may have seen, and I tried to go in that house you may have seen as well. Neither of those were the first level. So the levels, ouch, are buildings. This is the first level now. I'm sure of it. The levels are the buildings on the street of the overworld, and this is what the first level looks like. And it doesn't matter if the first level is in the first house, the second house, or the third house. It's always the same first level. So the gameplay in this game is always... Oh, and it's only the first 3 levels. The first 3 levels spawn randomly, and this is why it's just confusing. But all of the later levels, they make sense. They're in order. They're in the same positions in the overworld, but the first 3 are randomly assigned to those first 3 houses. So, basic gameplay: you run, well, you walk. There's no run button. You jump and you punch. And it's just an action platformer. Couldn't be simpler. And you kill these sort of basement animals, flies and spiders and rats and things. And you're collecting these bones. And the bones aren't just for points, and they aren't for lives, like coins in Mario. They are to progress through the level. If you miss a bone, then you can't finish that part of the level. There's a barrier that will keep you from progressing. I need to kill you so I can get this bone. So you have to collect all the bones. So your objective every level is to collect all the bones. Ooh, oh, this is coffee. I'll describe what it did. That red meter up in the top left corner just refilled. Because the mechanics in this game are actually kind of brilliant. Oh, that's a power-up. I already got one of those. I just picked up a second one. It doesn't do anything. We'll talk about it later as well. Am I at the boss? Oh man, there's so many things to talk about. Now I can use the power-up, and it's the athlete power-up. And if I push the select button, I take off my pants, and it lets me throw knives or something. And so this is the first boss, and I'm going to be super cautious because I have a very limited amount of hit points and lives. So I want to make sure not to take any unnecessary hits from this guy. Oh, and also I flip down when I jump. Look at that. So I just, my goal, his life bar is in the middle there. My goal is to not take any damage from this guy. So, mechanics. Collecting the bones to get through the level, and then you're killing the boss. Yada, yada, yada. So the main mechanic of the game is the sleep mechanic. So if you look at the top left corner of the screen, where my face isn't, it says, well, first, that whole top bar is 4 players. This is a 4-player game. I don't know if I'll mention that. I have to talk about that later. That gives me a ton of points, and points gives you extra lives, so I have extra lives. And then I need to go backwards to find the second level, which is, again, randomly assigned to one of the first 3 houses. Ouch, and these bats are a pain when you're moving backwards. And this zombie guy is a pain as well. I think he's a zombie. He looks like Frankenstein's monster to me. But probably because of his flat head. But yes, zombie. Is this the second level? No. Okay, well, so this... I'm spending more time on the overworld than... This is the maximum amount of time. Go to the third house for the first level, and then the first house for the third level, or second level, and then the second house for the third. Anyway, the sleep mechanic, really important. So top left corner, yeah, it says 1-up, that's me, and then there's my points next to that, and below where it says 1-up, there are 3 Z's, that's representing the sleep, in case you couldn't figure it out, and then, and then beside that is a red bar. And the red bar is how asleep I am. When it's fully filled, I don't need to go down and get that bar, I already have one. When it's fully filled, I am fully awake, and when it runs out, I fall asleep. Now, it just goes down naturally over time, but it also goes down faster due to inactivity. So if you're standing still, it goes down really. That bat is gonna get me. Ouch! Don't knock me into a pit, please. Ouch! Oh, there, I died. So if you're just standing around, you're gonna fall asleep a lot faster. When you fall asleep, the level changes. No, the level itself stays exactly the same. The enemies you're fighting change, and they're reskins. They have the same behavior, but they're reskins. But they are also tougher, do more damage, take more hits. They don't do more damage, but they take more hits to kill, and maybe are faster. I'm not actually sure. I know I've tried playing through the whole game asleep, and I'm about to fall asleep now. That's bad. It's only because I'm playing badly because I'm talking. Hooray! Oh no, it's okay. Coffee that I just picked up refills my sleep meter. You could call it stamina, I suppose. Oh, okay. Oh, I played that badly. Which means, so because of the sleep mechanic, if you're standing around, you fall asleep faster. If you're killing enemies, you're falling asleep. So, which means you want to rush, naturally want to rush in this game. Now, this guy has very similar attack pattern. So this is the second boss, the boss of the second level. He has a similar attack pattern to the first boss, except he spits out these tongues at me that are a pain. Ow, and he killed me, actually. So I'm playing this really badly because I'm not killing any of the tongues. This is bad. Kill him, please, kill him. Just kill him then. He doesn't have too many hit points left. Every bar on his health point is not health point? Health bar is not a hit point. Okay, give me an extra life, thank you. Now I need to go to the third level. So this is going to be a pretty short LP. I've already gotten through 2 levels, and we're like halfway through the video or something like that. I should say that I only beat this game maybe once out of every 3 tries. It's a hard game. So inevitably I'm gonna have a game over. I mean, you know, limited lives, limited continues. And when you run out, it's game over. As you do in video games. That's the way it should be. No matter what some of the hippie game designers these days say. Yay, video game cover. Okay, so when I do have a game over, I will show the next playthrough, like in fast forward or something. Ooh, that's a new power up. That's a wizard power up. Or witch. 2 of the characters are female, and it does look like a witch's hat. And I'll get the coffee. Thank you. Keep collecting the bones. I think the screen only scrolls here if I have, and that's the ninja power ups. Now I have all 3 power ups. We'll talk about the power ups. I promise. We'll get there. I still have to talk more about sleeping. Now the bats are dropping rocks at me. Why are they doing that? I mean, this game makes a bad first impression because it's confusing and because the mechanics look kind of stupid simple. I need that bone, thanks. But it's actually really well designed. I am a big fan of some of the design decisions they've made in this game. I mean, the fundamentals, they all work, but they aren't the focus of the game. I mean, they aren't what make the game really hum, but once you put it all together. Anyway, gotta come back to that. I keep getting distracted. What was I even talking about? I don't even know. Killing all the little flying things. That's what we're doing right now. Eventually, one of these days, I'm gonna miss a bone. Yeah, so I can't go in here. This is to continue the level, and I can't go in unless I have all the bones. One of these days, I'm gonna miss a bone and feel stupid about myself. Can you die? Thanks. Making me nervous there, guy. Sleeping. So I died. Oh, you have 4 hit points also. I don't need these power-ups, I just need the bone. Thanks, don't jump into the 9s. You have 4 hit points, so that's not, they don't keep track of that anywhere on screen. See, now I can go in it, because I have all the bones, it's amazing. I need to punch you so you don't hit me. The main thing I'm trying to do is not get hit. So I've lost track of it. I'm just playing the game. This is the 3rd boss. I haven't even said everything I need to say in the first. I'm gonna switch to the ninja. I think the ninja's best at beating this guy. I will show off the wizard later. The ninja has throwing stars, but he also has this jump kick. So if you jump horizontally, I'm playing really badly. If I jump horizontally into an enemy, I hit it, and while it's taking damage, it doesn't hurt me. So the ninja is generally the best for fighting bosses, in my opinion. The wizard is also really good. Some of the bosses I'll fight with the wizard. The wizard's good for other things. Talking. So when I inevitably die... Oh, now we gotta go find the 4th level. I think the 4th level is all the way at the end of the road. I think that's where the 4th level is. I don't remember. You know, I don't want to fall asleep, so I'm just trying to rush past as many enemies as possible. I don't want to stop and kill them all because it takes time, and time is energy. or something like that. So when I inevitably have my game over, it will happen, I will play through the game and show it all and fast forward and then pick up the LP where I died, I think, and continue from there. Something like that. So you will see a full playthrough, including the win. And I don't know how many times I'm gonna die. That's not it. I'm trying to beat the game, but you know, it'll be a few times. So sleeping. So here's the difference. Oh, is it the cemetery? No, it's the junkyard is the 4th level. When you're asleep, you know the enemies are tougher, blah blah blah. The main difference is that the power-ups don't spawn. You can't collect the power-ups when you're asleep. But when you're awake, you can't use the power-ups. I'm pushing select right now and nothing's happening. That was dangerous, standing still. Bad things happen when you stand still. So you need to play through the levels while you're awake to get the power-ups. Hey, why did you fall down? Now I'm gonna have to kill you. That's kind of annoying. Why would you do that? While you're awake to get the power-ups, which you need to use while you're asleep. Except fighting bosses is different. You can think of it when you're fighting a boss. Attacking is weird. When you're fighting a boss, you automatically fall asleep, and then after you beat the boss, you wake up fully. So when you fight the boss, your sleep meter doesn't go anywhere, but when you finish the boss, it does fill up all the way. So you start the next overworld position fully awake. So you can use your power-ups during the boss fights. So far the only time I've used my power-ups. Ouch! Oh, I thought I could stand beside you and not get hit. Oh well. But if I were to fall asleep, the level would get harder, but I would have access to my 3 power-ups. So it was really interesting balance. So the reason this game is really, really well balanced, it would be easy to look at these very simple mechanics, the very simple gameplay, and say, oh, it would be so much easier with more players. And just, yeah, that's what we thought. But no, in fact, I think this game is much harder with more players. Oh, that's a lot of coffee that I just don't need. The coffee also disappears when you're asleep, but it's replaced by a boombox or stereo or alarm clock. I don't know what it is, but it wakes you up. It still refills your awake meter. It's just reskinned, basically. And now the punching, you'll notice when you push the punch button, he sort of pulls back his arm briefly. So there's this little, I was standing still. That was a mistake. When you're standing still, you're supposed to sort of walk back and forth to keep yourself awake. I don't think it will matter too much. I don't need another wizard power up, but I will take it. Yeah, coffee, sleeping stuff. I think that's everything there is to the game. You get points for extra lives. You have, I think, 3 continues. Oh, I need to switch to my ninja. I like the ninja against you guy. So I think at this point in the game, we have seen all of the boss attack patterns. So this guy sort of flies in this sort of figure 8 pattern, and he spawns enemies. The last guy sort of bounced around, and then the guys before that went to the right and then would extend out to the left side. How that guy hit me. So I guess this is the bat boss. These are the reskinned bats, the flying skulls. So that's how I'm pretty confident that I am asleep right now, even though my meter doesn't say it because there's reskinned enemies happening. But I just want to jump into you until you're dead. And then the last boss pattern is the Freddy boss. Oh, and that's the other thing. So now I need to go backwards. I'm gonna follow this snake the whole way. Hooray! The other important thing, once you're asleep, your sleep bar doesn't do anything. It's just empty at that point. But there is another timer that starts that I believe is just a timer, and it doesn't actually have to do with fatigue. So shimming back and forth in place doesn't slow it down. This is level 5. I have a couple more things to say, so we're gonna play level 5 in this video. Sleeping. So, there's another timer that counts down, which is Freddy. So, after a while, after you're asleep, you have a certain amount of time, and after that time, Freddy's music will start playing, and then he attacks you, and the gameplay just freezes, and you're in this random boss fight, which I knew you were going to spawn, and I still walked into you. This random boss fight. And it's actually a very easy boss once you know. The 4 guys, the 4 of us, we fought him a lot, so we got used to it. At least I got used to it. The way I got good at this game was Oh, wow, I just died. That's bad. Was in between. I can't see myself because of frame rates. In between play sessions, I would practice because we were determined to beat the game. And I really wanted to beat the game, and that's when I discovered that the game is harder with more players. Let me come back to that. So the Freddy fight. So you just have to beat him. It's just a boss. You just beat him, and then you continue where you left off, where he interrupted you. Wow, those guys were really annoying. So the game, there's little sequences like that where I was trying to fight back the zombies to get the bones. Those are easier with multiple players because you have one player who's killing the zombies and the other player who walks up and gets the bones. But for the most part, the game is harder with multiple players because of the sleep mechanic. So when somebody dies, the screen doesn't scroll, which means the other 3 players, or however many players, have to wait there for the guy to respawn, and it takes a minute. And so you're just standing around and wasting time. Oops, I died again. At least I haven't had to use a continue yet, but I feel like I'm rushing. No, well, I'm not rushing too much, but I'm rushing into things. Okay, boss number 5. Thanks, I'll take the extra wizard power up. So that means when you have more players, this guy might actually be easier with the wizard. I mean, he's exactly the same as the previous boss, only I think I know he has more hit points, so I think he might move more quickly. It's funny, none of the enemies in this game actually do more damage. You have 4 hit points per life, and that's it. So you know, you look at it, you look at the game, and if you have 4 players, then you have 4 times as many hit points, 4 times as many continues, 4 times as many opportunities to do damage to enemies. You can support each other during tricky parts. You know, it's all of these reasons that the game should be easier. And yet, you fall asleep a lot faster, which means you don't get enough power-ups, and you have to share the power-ups. You have to decide who in the group is going to get all the power-ups, or get which power-ups. And it actually ends up being a lot trickier because the difficulty goes up, and it's just naturally. The enemies aren't any tougher, but because of the way the game is organized, it just becomes harder, and it's kind of a brilliant execution. So next time we'll continue. Everybody, this has been Birchador playing. We're already through 5 levels. This is gonna fly by. Birchador playing A Nightmare on Elm Street. Thanks for watching.